Hi, my name is Michael. I'm with RVSupportMonster.com. Today we're going to do an orientation on a fifth wheel trailer. Let's get started. The first thing you want to do is back up into the campsite. Hopefully it's a cement pad. If it's not level, you can put something underneath the wheels to level it side to side. Once that's accomplished, you come over here and you push the button. You can retract or extend the front legs, and that'll level front to back. Once the leveling is done, there's stabilizer jacks in the rear on a fifth wheel. Once we're level and the trailer's square, we'll go ahead and crank these jacks down for stability, and that'll keep the trailer from moving around when you're walking around inside the RV. Okay, next let's go over torquing of the wheels. It's important that these wheels are torqued, not only because that's something that you should do before every trip, but these wheels are aluminum. On an RV, you get flexing and turning of the wheels, which loosen up the lug nuts. So make sure you're torquing your lug nuts down before every trip. We have two 30-pound tanks. It also has a regulator in the center, and you can point it to the tank that you draw off initially. Once that tank runs empty, there's a window in the center that'll change colors. Usually when it's full or it has some propane in it, it'll be green. Once that tank runs empty, it turns to red, switches over automatically. Here we have a docking center. We can hook a hose up to the city water, and we can run off the pressure from that hose. Above that, you have a black tank flush. So after you dump your sewer tanks, you'll hook a freshwater hose up to this also, and you can flush that sewer system out, and I'll explain that to you later. To the right here, we have a battery disconnect. Your battery is going to charge while you plug in. It's also going to charge while you tow. So if you're in storage, we want to turn this key and pull it, and that'll kill the battery power in the trailer and keep your battery in good shape. Above that, we have an outside shower. There's a hot and cold water hookup. There's a hose that comes with this one. We'll quick connect it here, and you usually get about 10 foot of hose for an outside shower. To the right, you have a satellite or cable TV hookup. So if you get to the park and you have satellite or cable TV, you'll run a coaxial up from the bottom. Simply screw it in here, and you'll be all set. To the right of that, we have a freshwater tank fill. If you get in a situation where you don't have water at the campsite, then you want to fill this tank up ahead of time and turn your pump switch on, and that'll pressurize the lines and allow you to have fresh water. Here we have our water heater. We can heat water off electricity. We can also heat it off propane. If you heat it off electricity, you get about 6 gallons an hour of recovery. If you do gas, it's 11 gallons, and if you do gas and electric, you can get up to 17 gallons of hot water. Okay, let's go over dumping your sewer system. You'll have a black tank, which is going to hold the wastewater, and you'll have a gray tank, which is all the drain water. So the bathroom sink, kitchen sink, and shower will go into the gray tank. The toilet water will go into the black tank. What you want to do is take a sewer hose, remove the cap, install your sewer hose here, complete the connection. Once that's done, we'll go ahead and pull the black tank. This one's labeled black tank. So we'll go ahead and pull that and empty that waste tank. Once that's done, we'll walk over to the black tank flush and we'll hook a fresh water line up to it, and we'll let it run for about 5 minutes until we feel that tank is cleaned out. Then we'll shut the hose off, close the gate valve, and we'll go over to the gray tank and we'll pull that gate handle, and that'll empty all the gray water, and that'll kind of flush your hose out for you anyways. So start with the black, flush it, and then do your gray last. Okay, let's go over your power cord. This particular trailer has a 50 amp power cord, and the trailer is 50 amp. What that means is this trailer is capable of running 2 air conditioners at the same time. If you have a 30 amp trailer, that means you're limited to 1 air conditioner. Okay, here we have our awning. This particular one happens to be powered, which is going to make it real easy for you. You push a button, the awning extends. Once it's fully extended and you decide you want to bring it back in, you push the button, the awning runs back in. Now, a couple things we want to be careful about is heavy rains or heavy winds. We want to go ahead and put it away if we get into those situations. Welcome to the interior of the coach. We're going to start right off with the refrigerator. Now, the refrigerator can run off electricity, it can also run off propane, and there's an automatic switchover involved. So you have a button on the left-hand side that says on-off, so we'll go ahead and turn that on. The button on the right-hand side says auto. If you push it in and the auto light lights up, you're running off electricity. If you unplug the trailer or you were to lose power, it's going to automatically switch over to propane until electricity is restored. And it does all this automatically. Okay, next we have our stove. This particular one has 3 burners. There's 3 knobs in the front, so we'll go ahead and select a burner. Turn it to light, get the gas flowing, and then we'll immediately come over here and rotate the piezo, and that'll ignite that burner. Lighting the oven will have to do with a gas match lighter or a long match. And what you want to do is turn the knob on the right to pilot, push and hold, And as you're holding it, you want to light the thermocoupler. And that's a little nipple that sticks out about 1/3 of the way back in the oven, right under the broiler. So again, go ahead and hold the pilot down, light the thermocoupler, let go. If the pilot stays lit, great. If not, you might have to try this a few times to get it to catch. Now we're in the living room of a modern fifth wheel. Here we have a fireplace which runs off electricity, which would also help you supplement your propane. On the right-hand side, we have the power button. Go ahead and power it up. Next to that, we have a dimmer button so we can control the brightness of it. To the left of that is a low button. We can put the heat on high, or you can put it on auto. Now, if you do auto, after that, a temperature will follow, and that's going to be your room temperature. To the left of that is a timer. You can set it from 30 minutes up to 5 hours. And again, this runs off electricity. This particular one happens to have a remote that comes with it, so keep an eye open for a remote. Okay, moving on to the radio. This one is AM, FM, CD, and DVD. Some are AM, FM CDs, some have a DVD player built in also. Power button's on the left-hand side, so we can go ahead and power that up. We have our A, B, and C speakers. Those are different speakers located inside and outside the trailer, so you have to play with the buttons to figure out which each one does. Okay, most RVs have an air vent in the ceiling. You can have one in your living room, your bathroom, and your bedroom. What this is going to do is let the air circulate throughout the trailer. So if you want some fresh air, go ahead and crank your vent open. Now if you're in transit or you're in storage, of course you want to close the vent so we don't have rainwater getting inside. So again, close it for traveling, close it for bad weather. Now that we're in the bathroom, we got a sink, we got a toilet, we got a shower, just like at home. Now you're going to have to be hooked up to either a city water connection or you're going to have to fill that tank up that we talked about earlier. Both ways will work just fine. Moving over into the toilet, you want to put chemicals in there. It'll break down the waste, it'll break down the toilet paper, and it'll help with the odor. And this particular one, it's a foot pedal flush, so we'll step on the pedal, we'll drop our chemicals down the toilet, then we'll let go, and that'll treat the 30 gallons of waste. Once you dump the tank, you're dumping the chemicals, so you'll need more chemical for the next go round. Okay, let's go over the monitor panel on your RV. What this is going to let us know is how full the battery is. So there's a button that says battery. So if I press that button, it lets me know if the battery is empty, 1/3, 2/3, or full. The same light situation is going to work for the freshwater tank, and again, the freshwater tank is empty, and that'll give me an idea of how full that tank is. To the right of that, it says black tank. That's for the toilet water, and it'll let me know what the tank levels are. And once that black tank is full, we need to go outside and pull the gate valve and empty that waste system. And to the right of that, it lets us know how the gray water is doing, which is the kitchen sink, bathroom sink, and shower water. Below that, we have a couple buttons. One's called the water pump. If you get in a situation, and again, you're using that fresh water tank, we want to make sure the lines are pressurized, and you do that by hitting the water pump. If you're hooked up to the city water, there's no need to hit the water pump because we run off the pressure from the hose. Next to that, it says DSI water heater. That means direct spark ignition. So this is the propane switch for the water heater. Push the button, water heater fires up automatically on propane. To the right of that, there's a button called electric awning, and that'll extend and retract the awning. Below that, we have 4 slide outs on this particular trailer. There's a button that says slide room in. Push it down, slide room out. You push it till the button clicks, and that'll let you know that your room's all the way out. Okay, your trailer is going to have a fan, air conditioner, and furnace in it. Now if you hit the button once, it goes to fan, and what that's going to do is circulate the air throughout the trailer without the air conditioner running. If we hit it again, it goes to cool, shows me a digital display. I can increase and decrease the temperature in the trailer. One more time, it goes to furnace, and again you set your thermostat just like at home. Okay, most RVs are going to have emergency exit windows. On this particular one, what you want to do if there's a fire is pull the screen. Once the screen is out, you lift the handle, extend it. The window's hinged on top, so it's not going to fall out once you open it, so you can also use it for ventilation. Okay, here we have our antenna for the TV. So if you get in a situation you don't have cable or satellite and we're roughing it, we want to use the rabbit ears on the roof. So what you want to do is go ahead and crank this handle up, and it tells you which way for up and which way for down. Once it reaches the utmost position, you want to pull on the dial, rotate it, and that's like moving your rabbit ears, you're fine tuning the channel. Now when you get ready to head out, you want to line the arrows up. That way the antenna is in the same spot when it comes down. Crank it down until you hear it hit the roof. Once that's done, you're all set. Okay, moving on to the converter. Anything that runs through electricity is very simple. It goes from the electrical source to the breaker to that said appliance. This one says water heater, microwave, GFI, which is outlets. So anything, again, anything that's electricity is really simple. It goes from the power source to the breaker to the appliance. So if you trip a breaker just like at home, you want to come over here and reset it. Now anything that's converted from electricity to 12 volt is fuse. And if a fuse blows, a light will come on. It'll let you know exactly which fuse is blown. Most of the time, there's an indicator next to it to let you know what the fuse function is for. Well, this concludes our orientation on a fifth wheel. If you have any further questions, contact a dealer that you purchased the RV from.